another video, and we'll be talking about the wargaming officer, computer officer, and I have a surprise for you. I have another high-speed lieutenant that are going to be talking about the wargaming officer job. He is Officer Jordan Fisher. I was my flight graduation event officer, GEO. And curriculum is not the same like that of nursing school. It's not the same like that of a secular education. So I kind of had issues with the academics. So thank God I selected the GEO as my job. And I didn't do much from the beginning of the entire program until the last week of graduation. Now, what is graduation event officer? In layman's terms, the GEO collects all the information of the visitors expected to attend your graduation, your flight graduation. Okay? Unfortunately, this is COVID-19. So families are really not allowed to come for your graduation. So everything is done virtually. People commission through on their cell phones, on the computer, iPads, and all that, or whatnot. So as a graduation event officer, your job is already streamlined. It's already reduced because you don't have to collect a total list of every single family member that's going to attend the graduation of your fellow officers. So my flight had no distinguished visitors, so I did not have to deal with all that, especially because of COVID-19. We did have some high-level generals that actually commissioned some of our soldiers through virtual commissioning, so they didn't have to come. Yes, I collected the list, compiled that, and I was able to make sure that the time slot met with the general's time slot for that commissioning. So the ultimate thing that a graduation officer does is during the last 2 weeks of your training, that's when you really get busy. You collect information from your flight, you submit it to the wing, to the squadron graduation officer, who then collaborates with the wing graduation officer. And with all this being done, the graduation script and everything is handed down to us, and then we customize it to fit our flight goals. And that's what I did. It was a pretty easy job, but I was very proud that because of the relationship that I had, I was already commissioned when I went to OTS from my unit. So I was honored to actually commission some of my soldiers, some of my wingmen, which is awesome, to really swear in a colleague of yours, to swear in a classmate, a wingman of yours. That was an honor, and I will forever remember that moment. So as a graduation officer, there's not much to do, just to make sure that your flight goes out in flying colors. I have an awesome Lieutenant Jordan Fisher. He is going to be taking you through the other jobs, and I hope that they do help you to guide, to focus your mind, to be able to pick the right job that fits the capabilities of your mindset. So let us watch Lieutenant Fisher take us through the other jobs.
Hey guys, JD here. Soldier Nurse wanted me to come and talk to you today about some of the officer positions you could choose for yourself during your time at OTS. First officer position I want to talk about is your computer officer. So you can really think of this person as an IT guy. Anything computer problem related falls to this officer. So whether that's for the students, for the captain, whether that's downloading documents, login issues, connecting to the main projector, running virtual lectures, anything of that nature falls to this computer officer. They also tend to help the wargaming and academics officer with some of their responsibilities. Wargaming because that is a completely computer-based officer position, and academics to help with the templates for your bullet background papers and your presentations. So I mentioned wargaming officer. Outside of the couple of scenarios that you're going to run on the computers, there are not many responsibilities for this officer. But during those scenarios, you are in charge. You are the man. You are in the center of the room conducting your flight to meet objectives on these computer and computer programs in these wargaming scenarios. I also want to talk about your drill and ceremonies instructor. So this typically falls to a prior enlisted officer trainee, although it doesn't have to, but because they've been through basic, because they know how to do marching and facing movements, generally a prior enlisted will pick up this officer position. So some of their responsibilities, as I mentioned, are teaching students how to do facing movements, teaching a flight how to move correctly, helping new flight leaders with their cadences and teaching them how to turn early and call turns early, because as a flight marching, you don't turn on a dime. Unofficially, dress and appearance tend to fall to this officer trainee because they're often outside of your flight looking at the officer trainees. They notice the little nuance problems with your uniforms, so whether that's strings hanging off your OCPs or your insignia, your ribbons, your name tag not hanging off your blues jacket correctly, not lined up correctly. This generally falls to this officer position. Again, not officially. Last thing I want to talk about, helps, whelps. So helps and whelps are a couple of scenario-based problems that you're going to be doing outside as a flight and as a team. Helps is on campus, whelps is generally off campus. Basically, the helps whelps officer is in charge of setting this up and tearing down for these two activities. Additionally, they have a couple of other outdoor responsibilities. So teaching land navigation, how to move around an object using your pace count, and how to set markers at a distance and with a compass and move towards those objects, again using your pace count. They're also in charge of teaching you how to move tactically, so whether that's indoors as CQB or close quarters combat, or whether that's outdoors moving in a wedge, a line, how to deal with an ambush, things of that nature. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope you have a good time at OTS. Air Force out.